Have you ever felt like something was missing in your life, or that there was just a sense of emptiness and a need for more in your life? Well, that's the story that a lot of my clients tell me about when they come to me due to various health challenges, relationship challenges, or various types of life crisis. And I can give you an example of that. I once had a client come to me with chronic low back pain that had been to all sorts of doctors. This was a very wealthy man who could afford anybody and anything. And he heard about me through various connections and came to see me, and I did the same level of investigation I teach the CHEK Academy students all the way up to the highest level, so we can identify what's really going on. I did a complete orthopedic evaluation on him and could find no orthopedic indicators or injuries or faults that would accommodate or give reason for the pain he was having. Through my investigation, I found that he had been married for 35 years, but was unhappily married. And I said to him, has there ever been a time during your marriage where you did not have any back pain? He said, yes, there was 1 year that I had no back pain. I said, what happened? He said, I left my wife, moved to Miami, got a penthouse, and had sex with other women. I said, well, doesn't that tell you something about where your back pain is coming from? And he looked at me like he was confused. I said, well, obviously your heart craves freedom and you're not in love and you don't feel committed to your partner, or you would still be in a loving, committed relationship with your partner. And this man had 2 children. I said to him, why did you not? Well, first I said, how long have you been unhappy? He said, since almost the beginning of my marriage. And I said, well, why did you not get a divorce? He said, because I'm a Christian and it would be a sin. So here's the paradox. He feels it's a sin to get a divorce, yet he was able to alleviate himself of chronic low back pain by giving himself what he ultimately needed, even though the circumstances by which he did it were not ideal. So I said to him, don't you think that staying in a relationship that you're really not in is a bad example for your children and is stopping your wife from finding somebody that she could really love and have as a partner and allow you to go have the freedom you need to be healthy? And he said, yeah, but if I did that, I'd have to divorce her and she'd get half my money, and there's no way I'm going to give her half my money. And so what we see here is how religious ideology can not only create such constraints and limitations on a person's heart and the way they want to naturally live, but they end up playing little games with themselves and doing what I call dating the devil. This is exactly the kind of chaos that is very common and frequently at the root of a lot of people's chronic pain, chronic illnesses, and even diseases. And I've seen this more times than I could even begin to count in my 40-year career. And this is exactly what led me to developing the Spirit Gym program, because once COVID hit and I saw how families were being further broken and how the stress was driving people that were yogis and all sorts of holistic gurus right back into fundamentalist religion, which is natural. When you're afraid, you drop down to the level of your unconscious programming, where you don't have to think consciously, you just act reflexively, and you look for a daddy figure in the sky or around you to guide you. And we all know how many big time problems that created. So I had been working on the development of Spirit Gym for 10 years because of what I've consistently seen in my life as a therapist, and felt that I needed an integrated holistic system of true spiritual development. And that's how I developed Spirit Gym, as I basically took everything that I had developed in my career for the CHEK Institute and all my own personal spiritual development practices and studies, and I merged them into a truly holistic system of spiritual development that does not even require that you have a God or a religion, but inspires you to practice loving yourself and making connection with your own soul, your own spirit, and getting clear on what your dream is, and then understanding the principles of legitimate spiritual development so that you can feel good about your spiritual practice and know that there's nobody there to judge you, that you're following your own principles and organizing and focusing your awareness on your heart and letting your heart be your guide. And if we remember that love is the verb of God, whether you believe in God or not, love is the highest form of spiritual practice. So in Spirit Gym, we learn to love ourselves, take care of ourselves, and share that with the world. And if that seems like something that's inspiring to you, you're welcome to join me and the Spirit Gym community.